Good evening. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. This is the Public Works and Utilities Committee meeting. Thank you all for coming. Has attendance been taken? Excellent. Well, join me in allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any comments from citizens tonight? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to Public Works. And the first thing is the street department. Jimmy, I guess firsthand, expecting a report from you. Any highlights you want to give us?
We got our mower back and started finishing up mowing after it broke down on us. We got the parking lot painted out there at Bicentennial Park. And set some culverts, some sign work. Did a little digging out for Earl Bennett at the park for his bridge.
Any questions for the street department?
I don't obviously know the question, but as many of you know, Dim has accepted the supervisor role of the street department. He'll retire, so finalized, and we're happy to involved in that role and decided to move forward with it.
Did not know that. Good. Glad to have you. Anything else from streets? Okay, moving on to the water department. Aaron, what kind of report do you have for us?
Splitter for the last month. Is it overall pretty much dialing in though pretty evenly compared to actually later anything there? It's doing like you expect to. Good. Yep.
The water testing now for hard.
Not, I haven't checked with the guys. More than
And it was 280 before, something like that.
320 was what we were pulling from. Work.
Where should we operate at for?
I think we were about 160, 170.
Yeah, I mean, we used to average best case 140, 150 on hardness, and then we would be 40, 50 on calcium. Yeah, we're pretty close to probably what we're out at treatment wise. Aaron and I have started to look down. So this, in the world of water treatment, we have a recarb ring, which is underneath the plant, with the water, or with the line. And then as it goes back through the plant, there's a recarb ring that brings that pH down. Somewhere in the history of the water plant, they have removed the CO2 in that operation, so we can only treat so much. Aaron and I are looking at, we're optimistic at this point, but we're still in the preliminary stages of looking into it. We may try that CO2 back into the treatment. We want to run numbers and see what it costs, daily, annually, what it do as far as the budget wise. Just to see, because if that's something that we can implement for a low dollar amount, we can gain so much more. Obviously, that's the move we want to do. All that has to go through DNR to tell them we are now going to start that treatment back up. But initially, it looks like something that's going to be super simple to implement back in, low cost, and then we just don't have the numbers in front of us to see what that's going to be.
What is it biased?
Do what?
What is it biased?
So so it lowers the pH of the water. So in order to treat that water, you feed lime, and as you feed the lime, the pH rises. So once, we're gonna hit the maximum point we can actually feed so the pH doesn't get out of control into the distribution system. So with this recarb system, we can bring that pH up higher at the plant, treat it, soften it more, remove more minerals, remove more hardness, calcium, and then that recarb room then brings the pH back down, and it gets it back in that regulation drinking water level. So I reached out to a vendor, information unit that they have. Initially, that unit, very base, was a cost of I think roughly $1,300. Obviously, you got to have a scale and some plumbing and some other stuff. So right now, it's very small amount of money to implement that. We got to go through DNR and see what all that's going to entail.
What's the cost of materials equation?
Right, we don't have it. We really, we want to go to plants that have that operation and just see what it looks like on a day-to-day. See if it's something we want to dive into a little deeper. But, it'd be something where we can do better. What we're moving towards.
It's reasonable, something we really should.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna save infrastructure, city stuff, the customer side is gonna be better on, overall better. Just gotta have enough.
No, roughly how long ago it was taken out of the system?
I asked today, Jay, is our water operator, he said that he thinks it's upwards of 10 to 15. So,
Do you know why it was taken out?
to that question. So, and that's, we're kind of thinking, why was it taken out? Did they see something we're not seeing? So, obviously, it's not a plug and play, but we do want to at least look at it and see if it's something we can utilize and make a better product.
I've talked about the last few weeks, all over softer. So I'm about as far in the southwest as there is for water plant, so, because I don't use as much, use as much soap as I used to.
I know Jay has, he's pulling samples from all around the system, and I think today he said he's starting to see some more dialed in numbers are not kind of sporadic or kind of sitting steady on stuff and seeing he's not quite getting what he's sending out to what he's getting out of the system yet, but it's starting to get closer. So
Still mixing.
yeah,
Still mixing.
and they have been working at the plant with these VFDs. We're able to stretch out run times. It's easier to dial that thing in when it's running 16 to 17 hours a day versus this time of the year. Before we had the VFDs installed, it ran, and once it's done, it's done. We may only get 9 hours. So it's hard to do anything with treatment. So what we did in the project is helping us be able to run that system and see what we can do with it and how much better we can make it. Optimistic, but that's kind of where we're at with this glacier at this point.
People could quit complaining about that, so they moved on to something else. Anything else? Anything else from the water department? Okay. Thank you. Electric department. Clayton?
Several streetlights replaced as usual. Temporaries and underground stuff is floating down, and we started trimming a lot of trees and a lot of tree removal. So, we've been doing that, a lot of that. And they just keep coming in, so.
People calling in, asking when to be cut, or something you all noticed?
Just, once you cut one down on a street, there's 5 other people that see that, and then they want all their trees cut down too. It's impossible to keep up, but do what we can.
Any questions for electric department?
Has the tree guy started, the one we hired, has he started yet?
looking at possibly late December or January. Street side stuff with weather, they can cut if it's wet, not tear up a bunch of stuff. Today, they've kind of got a list ready to go with easement clearing and, you know, we're trying to get a priority list where we want them to start with every corner you take. You're like, well, then you turn another corner and so we're just gonna have to dial in a list and go with it and then figure out what we're gonna do next at this point. People that call me and they've apparently been on the list for 5 or 6 years that I don't even know about, and the tree, you know, most of them do need to come down, so I engage at this point.
And when are you all gonna put up the Christmas lights? This is important.
Yeah, the tree's cut Wednesday, the 27th.
Are they really on the 27th? Probably gonna, it's gonna be colder than heck.
Probably raining or snowing or something.
You don't know exactly, you know that.
I'm gonna do mine next week. His big thing is what, end of the month?
I believe it
When is
starts
it?
December first. I don't know when the
Yes,
decoration starts.
That's December first.
Yeah, I think the official light up is December first, and like a weekend in front of it.
Electric guys will get all the street light, decorations early that morning. And then, we're gonna move the Santa house up. First thing in the morning, get that set up, so hopefully it's not soaking wet. And then, today, they're gonna check the light for the square bulbs to make sure we have all those ready to go. That knocked out here,
Did you say you're gonna stand house up?
the 27th.
No. Okay, moving on to public works.
Already touched on, the Slater startup was a big part of my life. Let's see. Did help the electric department. We utilize, the new Dingo and stuff for a, so we did utilize that to see how that was gonna work operationalized in the backyard. It turned out pretty good. The machine's gonna be a very good tool. Electric. And then I'm sure Dane will hit on this, but, I did help coordinate, getting the new fire truck here last month. I think it was last month, it's all right. Yeah, the coordination part was last month. We did get that, but I'll let him speak on that. So the only big other thing that you'll see really out in the public side here coming up, we kind of working with an engineer, not for us, but and Eagle Stop gas station. So they're gonna do some construction on the right of way of MoDOT 22 to help with some stormwater issues when they always water sitting there. Like the rest of the construction, but they are doing the project on that. So we'll have an alleyway closed between Casey's and Eagle Stop. Other than that, we won't be affected at all. We'll see that probably happening pretty soon.
Something else that's come out that the citizens all got now is the audit for your drinking water line, your line. Out to mail that to everybody's household, exactly. There's a lot of questions start to pop up, bubble up about that, and people want to know what that's all about.
Yeah, you can just direct people to call City Hall. They can call on that. I think mostly every day.
Yeah.
And it is something, the piece of paper that we have to send out is a document through, it is It is a little confusing, I will say. It does not mean that your water is bad.
We need to go ask. I don't know.
You filled out your survey,
Yeah, so paperwork,
if you didn't,
if you marked unknown, we didn't of it, that's, they wanted us to send this letter out to tell you that we don't know what your word is. Kind of a doomsday letter. That's what people are receiving it as.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is,
Shake people up.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's,
Specifics on it, yeah. There has to be a push. The letter applies to everyone. There's still. Homeowners replace their water.
Yeah, that's a big, that's a big question for me to ask, is scared people, what I can afford, the hell am I gonna do? I don't know.
Well, it's only, it's only if it's a lead line. It's a lead line.
lead and galvanized, really,
A lot of galvanized out here.
because of the scaling, inside galvanized piping, if there's any lead upstream, downstream. Studies that they've done, that lead will then attach to the scaling on the inside of galvanized piping, so then they went through that as well.
Okay.
So,
Drew Smith told me he hadn't seen those lead pipes.
they're really, I mean, honestly,
He
there's
said it's
not a
from
lot.
He hadn't, it's more
He
galvanized. He
hadn't.
hadn't.
There's some galvanized line over the town, so not on the city side. I think maybe one or two jobs that we've had, but that's about it. You know, it's all most of them.
But all of ours, our lines are audited as far as the city.
Yeah,
We-
yeah.
We've already done our work with what we're providing for the service line, so we're up to speed on that. Doesn't require from us to, because we've done it. So, actually, they did a great job of getting on top of that and getting ahead of it, so.
Anything else, Matthew? Move on.
Nope.
Asthma Rise, anything for Asthma Rise? Now that we've pretty well got the roundabout working, I think it's working extremely well.
It did the other night.
What?
It did the other night.
And what happened the other night?
Guy run right through this thing and hit T-bone a guy.
Somebody serious? Somebody told me they called a semi coming from the west, from the east, he went right. Nobody, he didn't hit anybody, but he went right through the middle of it.
That's the road right. Guy was going easy. There's a roundabout, the guy was in the roundabout, headed to Columbia, and they impacted it.
how do you literally not realize it's there?
That's, you figure that out, you got it made.
Say,
yet.
the lights will hopefully help.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
I had that discussion with them when this project took off, because we had street lights out there that were ours, and we told them we can keep them there. So if something comes up, there's light. And we were told, no, don't worry about it, remove them now. We don't want them in our way. It's really dark.
Lights are coming back, gonna be installed.
They are. They're putting in the lights.
We know when.
This time next
Done.
year.
Oh, actually,
So is that the only price we've had, just one?
Same day, wasn't it?
That was one other day, the one.
one of them has been full there.
Well, it wasn't really foggy that morning.
See, there you go.
Yeah, but they got all them orange cones out there.
Regardless, hopefully the impacts are a lot less than we've seen. in the past.
Harlan, have you noticed a difference in traffic accidents at that intersection?
Well, of course. Yeah, it's at least 80% reduction like I predicted, but it's probably higher than that.
Still gonna have people out there.
Drive you from. Now, did you send a request to MoDOT to do something with Highway 22 and Jefferson? That could work.
So, yeah, Tara and I, when we went to the meeting, we discussed that. It wasn't even on their radar. Kind of brought it to their attention, and that's kind of where it left off. We told them about it, but,
The next meeting that we have with them, their quarterly meeting, I'm going to make sure it's higher up on their list and explain to them we have a big development that is.
And that's what I told you,
there.
send a letter to keep, put it on there, it's because you come across 22 north to south, it's very difficult.
Where does Route Z officially end? Does it end at the city limits? Does it end at 22? Does it end somewhere between?
City limits time. That turns into Jefferson Street,
Is it
city.
actually through to 22? They think that it's a state intersection.
Yeah.
well,
And if they would do away with the McDonald's entrance there, that would help traffic. And do the part.
although we did that, the Z, in Jefferson conversation, we did benefit from because
Yeah.
for some reason, the MoDOT crew who was painting, repainted Jefferson Street for us this year. So, apparently more confusing than most people know. But, on camera, they-
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion and second to adjourn, all in favor say aye. Opposed nay. You're adjourned.